Alright, so the next step is going to require us to flatten our entire image. So before we do that, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we save this. So you want to do save as, and we're going to, let's see, save it under, I mean, you can save it wherever you want. We're going to call it photoreal painting layered. And I'm going to go ahead and save it the rest of the lectures here. All right, so save that. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and flatten, oops, we're going to go ahead and flatten all of these layers here. So everything except for the foreground and the background, but everything that makes up our creatures and the branch and all that, that needs to be flattened. So oops, sorry, not merge. Well, I mean, I suppose we could do merge. Doesn't really look like it has a huge effect, but let's see here. Oh, that flattened the whole thing for us, so we don't want to do that. I guess we'll just have to merge and we'll erase that stuff that we kind of have going on in the background. So now that we have done that, we can go ahead and rename this creatures. And we're going to save this one as photoreal painting flattened, so that if we need to go back, we can. But this is where we're going to work from now on moving forward. So you need to make sure you have all those things you need done on those layers done before you get to this step. Alright, now we're going to turn this off for a second, these other layers. I'm going to get my eraser tool, and we're going to come in here, and we're going to work our way around the image real quickly, and just clean up some of the edges here. So we have a little bit of over, any place where we maybe went over the edge a little bit, and we need to tighten up a little bit. We're just going to come in here now that we have this all merged together and do that. So we have a little bit of overspray in some areas from one or more of our previous layers, but now that it's all flattened together, we can just clean that up really easily without having to switch through every single layer trying to find where it is. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, let's move our way over here. Get our eraser back. We got some spots here that we need to clean up. Okay, a little bit over here on his ear. Move up here now. Grab our little hand tool. We got some on his horn here, just a little bit that we need to clean up some. Get this ear. Alright, there we go. Get this guy's little antenna. Alright, there we go. Alright, that looks really good. All cleaned up. Let's zoom back out. Oh, Looks like we got a little spot right in here. There we go. Awesome. Doing one quick look over the whole thing, make sure we got it all. All right, fantastic. That looks great. So now what we're going to do, we're going to get our blur tool, and we're going to start to blur some of this out. So back here on his tail, we're thinking about what the focus is. So the focus is going to be his face area. So everything, as the farther it gets away from his face in depth of this image, the more out of focus it's going to be. So for example, his tail, probably the farthest thing away from this image. So that's going to be the most out of focus. Little love handles here, we'll put those just barely out of focus on the edges there. So kind of turn away. Elbow, I'm going to throw that out of focus a little bit. Just kind of wiggling this brush across it. His ear, this back side of his ear, this is going to go out of focus because it's kind of a little farther away from the viewer than the rest of him. This side, just probably just a little bit. His tail though especially, I actually think I need to do that a little more even. Get the tip of his ear there. Alright, and then let's zoom in on this guy, on both of these guys. His back arm here, we'll throw that out of focus ever so slightly. This eye. Do the shoulder just a bit. And let's zoom in up on the top one. Get our blur tool back. This tail back here is really going to drift out of focus. This leg back here will be a little out of focus. This arm. This eye here. Bring our brush up, we'll get this ear as well. It kind of goes back in space. Okay, and then lastly, we're going to get the ends of these branches. Imagine that's at a little bit of an angle, so maybe this side kind of twists towards us at the end. It's going to get out of focus as it does that, and then we'll do the other branch as well. Same with this side. Have that one fade out of focus back there. Okay. Got the tail already. Get the ear a little bit more. All right, excellent. And then we can turn back our foreground and our vignette back on. And you can see it just adds a little bit of a touch to kind of make it feel a little bit more in perspective, a little bit, you know, richer depth of field. So we are on the home stretch. We only have one step left. So that is it for this lecture, and I will see you guys in the next one.